verse. Add value to my work, check the volume on my work. You get what you give, and I'm loving all the perks. Eazy gift and the curse, make them check another verse.
What's good, world? It's your boy Easily. It's your boy Easily Done. Easy said than done. Listen, gotta make sure my mic on. I have to talk about something, and I don't know, for my few. I'm small time right now, but you never know. I might get a person, a fan or two. You got something to say about this because this is an interesting conversation to me right now. I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Is his first of all, they acting like his stock has dropped. I remember not too long ago, this man was damn near the number one pick. It was between him and Cam Ward from the University of Miami. It was, usually it's a quarterback or offensive lineman or defensive lineman. That's the number one pick. It's rare as anything else, right? It's rare, but it's usually. I'm trying to remember if it's if a receiver has ever been number one. They be top five for sure. Top five, that's different. That's everybody. You don't come put everybody in the top five. But usually number one is either an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, or a quarterback. Because those are franchise changing positions. And I remember all season, Shedeur Sanders was the number one pick, like locked between Shedeur and Cam. Because it was clear that it was going to be a team that needed a quarterback that was going to get that number one spot between the Raiders, between Oakland, and the Giants. You know what I mean? Those were like the teams that were going to lobby for that number one spot, put themselves in position. They ain't already got a quarterback situation. They ain't already draft somebody. They need to work on finding a franchise guy. And in my opinion, both Cam Ward and Shedeur are very capable franchise changing quarterbacks. It should be 1 and 2, right? But I just seen I was at a Walmart and you got the little magazine aisle, and I've been seeing it. This is why I had to say something today. I've been seeing on ESPN because I got ESPN app. Like it always give me alerts, just certain news, and I just keep seeing like Shedeur's stock keep dropping, and I'm curious to know why. You know what I mean? Because he's not voluntarily doing these little workouts. He's not jumping up at when y'all say jump. He ain't just jumping. The man knows what he. First of all, I think his college football career spoke for itself. What he did between Jackson State and Colorado statistically is elite. His numbers are off the charts. I'm talking about the man every season he played never threw double digit picks and always threw at least 25 to 30 touchdowns. Always threw nearly 70%. Even when Colorado was bad that first year he got there, he had great numbers. The team was just trash. He still was the star of a bad team. You know what I mean? Like, that should stand for something. And then when they have a good year like they did last year, did they win 9 or 10 games? I think either way, they had I'm talking about the turnaround that Dion had, outstanding. Like, Dion's already like doing some shit at Colorado for him to have Colorado winning. The way they started, I had doubts. But then the season he just had last year, they almost made it to the playoff, bruh. They were like fighting up into the last 2 weeks of the season to get into the playoffs, bruh. They were ranked for most of the season. Like, damn good job, Dion. And he been telling you about his son. This man done personally coached his son, but we don't understand how long he done taught his son to play quarterback from an NFL great. The man had his son trained and spoken to NFL guys. But don't get mad at Shedeur for knowing his worth. He is arrogant. There was a time let me say this, right? And this pissed me off with Shedeur, and it still does. When even when he first got to Colorado and NI deals were being done for these college athletes, and Shedeur already got money. He was raised by money. His dad been rich. He win a game and he pull out the Rolex and just, and I'm like, dog, that's so stupid. Like, okay, I know you rich. Or when they show him riding around in his cyber truck or his Maybach, and I'm like, it already turns, especially the older college, the guys that played, you know, the game years ago, and they couldn't show off their money, and they might have been touching money, or they couldn't, or they'd get in trouble for taking money. Yes, they opened up the door for y'all, but come on, man, have some decorum. I ain't like that, bro. And let's say this too, Shedeur. You were raised by money. You should not need to have to show it off. You've been rich. You ain't. I know your dad raised you right now. I'm gonna speak on that. You well spoken. You carry yourself well, but that's your little glitch. You got a little bit of that arrogance in you. You don't gotta be like Dion all the way, bro. I know your dad did that when he came into the league. He had that dog Dion walking around with women on his arms, big fur jackets. The man ain't even been drafted yet. You know what I'm saying? Or when he first got drafted, like a whole pimp. You know what I mean? Show me the money. Like Dion was already I know that's how your dad was, bro. You ain't got to do like that. You a different breed anyways. You his son, right? You ain't got to be like that all the way. Go show them niggas on the field. You the truth. Cause you already been, I watched this, I watched Shedeur when they had the YouTube channel when they were in high school. I forgot the name of the school. The colors were blue and black. And Shedeur was doing his thing then. And he wasn't even there was all type of little gangsters on that squad, running backs, and they were blowing everybody out. I was concerned on who they were playing. I feel like they weren't playing nobody because every game was 50 something to zip. Like just trash. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I know Texas, he was in Texas, but I'm like, who y'all playing? You know what I mean? But they still was doing his thing. Right? But it was documented. I was watching. I'm like, oh man, he got a son play quarterback. I'm like, he got height. I'm like, ooh, this kid might be next level. Then Dion takes a job at Jackson State. Let's not talk about the whole him going to this historic HBCU and niggas in their feeling because he ended up leaving the HBCU. And I'm not mad at Dion. Dion, if you're a coach, you want to compete. HBCUs is a level down from the NCAA FBS, excuse me. It is. It, HBCUs are FCS, and they're not even in the FCS. They play their own league, and when the championship's over, they don't even play in the playoff amongst. Jackson State didn't even come, and they used to be like undefeated. They don't even play in that playoff with the other FCS schools. They just in their own league. I can't blame a coach for wanting to go compete with the other coaches that are getting paid the top dollars, right? Dion wanted to go over there. He's an NFL great. Yeah, we can build the HBCUs, but come on, man. If you really watch college football or any NFL, we the most out there anyways. You just got a lot of white coaches. But the athletes are the niggas. For real. Bama, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, who you want to name is 95% black on all them teams. I might be skewing the numbers, maybe 80%. You know what I'm saying? 75. But come on, bro. And some of them schools do got black coaches. Michigan got a black coach now. You feel me? Syracuse got a black coach. They all over the place, bro. We ain't got to go there. NFL got black coaches. You know what I'm saying? But it is harder for us. I don't know an NFL coach that's won a Super Bowl. Oh yeah, what's the name one? I'm sorry. See, I'm in my feelings right now. We talking about Shedeur. And Dion was successful at Jackson State, and Shedeur came on right when he stepped on the field. He had to wait his first year because they had a good quarterback already at Jackson State. But once Shedeur took over that next year, he was a real deal. Like, he came out there and he was the real deal, off the rip. Jackson State was blowing everybody out. They looked like that high school team. he was out there darting, throwing darts. Like, whoa, you saw Shedeur was the real deal. He could have went to the FBS. He chose to follow his dad. Shedeur, you can see he easily could play in the FBS. He had FBS offers, but he wanted to go with his dad. His dad was hella successful at Jackson State. Here come the University of Colorado, a FBF school, got some history, got a Heisman, got a guy that won the Heisman. Now they got a second guy who won the Heisman. See what I'm talking about? And that's on Deion's watch. His other kid that followed him from Jackson State, Travis Hunter, and went to him to Colorado with Shedeur and Shiloh. See what I'm saying? And Shedeur, but here comes Shedeur at Colorado and Travis and Shiloh, and Deion come over and say he bringing luggage. That's the luggage he bringing on top of a couple of other Jackson State guys that followed. And then he got to Colorado, and they were trash when he got there. That's why Deion took the job. He wanted to show you how raw a coach he is. You know what I mean? They were like 1-11 the year before he got there. All right, first year he go, I don't know what they went 5-7. Shedeur still put up All-American numbers. Like he still threw like 30 something touchdowns or 29 to like 6 picks. 68, 70% completion percentage, like 3,000 yards. I'm like, this dude is the real deal. We all saw that. Shedeur is the real deal. Ain't no if, ands, or buts about it. Shedeur Sanders is a legit quarterback. He can play at the NFL level. He got if we don't know until he get out there, but he deserves to be drafted. You know what I mean? And the way he's showing his transitioning from everywhere played, if you watched him, you damn near can say he deserves automatically at least the first round. I don't know about that top 5, top 10. Then here come the next season, and Colorado's competing now in the Big 12. Like Deion's doing a damn good job coaching, but Shedeur is like continually showing he's the real deal. So he puts up another great season. You feel me? I don't know if he was first team all conference at the Big 12. I don't know if he played in the Senior Bowl. I think he did play in the Senior Bowl because I remember him and Cam Ward, I think, played in it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what Shedeur's done. That's why I said somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Why his stock is not what it was. It's these people questioning stuff. You know what I mean? And here's why I felt the need to make this video. Let's talk about next year's draft and related to the family, another family situation that's going to be related to this draft, and that's with Arch Manning, the nephew of the great Peyton and Eli Mannings, right? Grandson of Archie Manning, family pedigree quarterback in the NFL. If Archie Manning was behaving the same way Shedeur is behaving, because Archie Manning is gonna be a top 5 pick. He's already like cemented it, and he barely even played. He was backing up Quinn Ewers. You know what I mean? And Quinn Ewers was his 5-star recruit at Texas, and they were just screaming at Texas. They need to play Archie. It was a weird situation because Quinn winning. You know, I don't even know if Quinn gonna be a first-round pick, bro. And he was a top recruited kid coming out of high school. First, he went to Ohio State. That's another story. And the reason why I mention the Mannings because we all remember when Eli Manning came out and the Chargers were projected, they were number 1. They were going to be the number 1 pick, and they made it clear they wanted to pick a quarterback. But Eli made it clear he didn't want to play for the Chargers. Like, he refused. See what I'm saying? And that's what's the difference in that type of behavior to what Shedeur doing. Shedeur knows his worth too, but he's just not gonna do no shit like that. Shedeur know better because Phillip Rivers ended up being the pick that the same Chargers used, and they made a trade with the Giants to let the Giants get that number 1 pick, and then the Giants worked it out where they're gonna get a quarterback. And Phillip Rivers was a great quarterback. You could argue he was better than Eli. I would think he is. I think you would put Phillip Rivers in the Hall of Fame before you put Eli. I think Eli just retired sooner, and Eli was in his first year eligibility for the Hall of Fame and didn't make it. I bet you Phillip Rivers does. That's even though Eli got 2 Super Bowls, he did. He won. He won 2 Super Bowls. You gotta give him that. And he's the Tom Brady killer. He beat Tom twice, right? And that's another story too. But the story I just want to understand is why is Shedeur getting this? And I'm not gonna say it's undeserved. That's why I don't know. I don't keep up with the draft. All I want to know is who go where, who my 49ers are gonna pick, and certain names that I know are gonna be the real deal. Like I got some Wolverines that that's my college football team where they gonna land. Like Mason Graham and Will Johnson. They're both projected to be top 10. For us to have the season we had, we were B minus just because we finished strong. We really was a C team most of the season, and they still have like really you got Grant too, another defensive tackle dude. He's a beast. I love him and Mason Graham. Will, I feel like he laid down once he already knew what his draft status was. He laid down. He knew what time it was. He wasn't gonna hurt himself and hurt his draft status because he laid down. Like he stopped playing halfway through the season. He had to act like he was a injury and he was done. And like I'm worried about the NFL right now, and I'm not mad at him because that dude nice too. And then we got another defensive lineman might slide in the first round too, Hosea Stewart. That defensive line was ridiculous at Michigan. It's kind of sad that they just had to be the ones to suffer from the coaching change or Harbaugh going to the NFL. But that's the type of stuff I pay attention to. I just want to see where my Wolverines land. Big names. I want to see where the running back from Boise State go. You know what I mean? They act like he about to be a top 5 pick. It's been a while. They keep devaluing running backs, and then the Eagles show you like what they did with Saquon. You tripping. Like anybody watch football know you gotta run the football. Like how you devalue running backs because they get hurt a little, they get banged up. But once you got a gangster, your team different. My non can tell you that with McCaffrey. Anyways, why is Shedeur not getting that due respect? You know what I mean? Am I tripping? You know what I'm saying? Am I tripping? Um, but here's the bottom line. He might not be a top 10 pick because all of a sudden there's issues. I promise he's not gonna fall out the first round. Somebody gonna take him. What's gonna happen is it's gonna be an organization that they can put him, they might even put him on the bench. You got a quarterback situation that's kind of fluttery right now. They got somebody, but let's see. And let's put a draft kid in here and see if I promise you, man, he's not going out the first round, bro. I promise you. I promise you. Don't let him fall to Dallas. Cause I can already see your boy snatch him up. And he would love that. Shedeur would love to be a Cowboy. That's where his dad played. Not his whole career. He was a Falcon for most of it. I'm trying to think the Falcons. See, they just got a quarterback. They're not going to draft him. That's not even going to happen. That's not even going to happen. But the Dak money they gave Dak and is to open up their bank accounts again and Dak starts slipping, even though Dak's good, but that's a big contract. And they might say, we're going to go get Shedeur. If he brought, see, that's what I'm saying. So he gonna land somewhere. It's gonna be beautiful. It's just funny that he's not gonna be that whatever round pick. But Shedeur ain't worried about that. I can see. I know a good player when I see one, bro. That boy was built for this. Like his dad, and that's why he went and played quarterback. He ain't no corner. Shiloh played DB. Now Shiloh got some shoes to fill trying to play the position his dad played, and his dad is legitimately considered the greatest corner of all time. So to even go try to play in somebody's defensive backfield, you're gonna hear about even his dad probably tell him you can't cover like I covered. You know what I mean? Like, I would hate to have that conversation with my dad being what. That's why all these dudes that go behind their dads trying to like Bronny James go play basketball. I would have went to play football, Bronny. Cause that shadow's just enormous. Michael Jordan kids will tell you none of them kids made it to the NBA. You know what I mean? It's hard when your pops is Dwayne Wade's son. Like it's hard when your pops You know, it's too big of a shadow. Now some have made it like Curry, you know, Tim Hardaway Jr. You know what I'm saying? But their dads were legends. You know, Tim Hardaway was nice, but legend, no. When it's a legend, that's a hell of a shadow, bro. But Shedeur was smart. He went to play quarterback. See what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we play football there, but I'm a whole different position, and I mean a whole different one. But I just want to spit that because my heart's like, I don't like that, dog. I don't know. It's just weird to me. But I know that kid gonna be nice. I can smell it, you know. But I could be wrong. It's sports. That's what makes it beautiful, you know. I just want to talk about it. It's your boy Dunn.